a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter.
Clayton Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. Turner in the air to center field. That ball's hit well. Martinez on the run. This is way back, and it is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner.
And for the second consecutive season, the Dodgers are going to the World Series.
Bellinger hammers the ball. It's Bellinger's turn. Lifts a fly ball to left center field. Back towards the wall. It is gone. Mookie with another 3-home run game.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. What did we just see? Do you feel alive right now? Only baseball, only the Los Angeles Dodgers can do that too. We're going to break down all of tonight's action, but remember, it don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning from the great Fast and the Furious. Guys, we've got lots to talk about. The Dodgers won all the smoke. Manny Machado versus Brusdar Gratterall. Kenley Jansen in that inning. Is it over for Kenley Jansen as the closer of the Los Angeles Dodgers? And Joe M. effing Kelly, the legend of Joe Kelly, grows tonight, getting us out of that inning. The Dodgers, they take game 2 by a score of 6-5. The Dodgers get it done against the San Diego Padres, and they take game 2. We've got so much to break down here, but just give me a minute here, guys. That was something else, man. I know I've just sweat for the last 2 hours right here. I almost had a heart attack. We got to start doing yoga or something. We're only 2 games into the NLDS, but we're just 9 wins away from baseball immortality. But guys, hey, welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. You know how we get down. Let me know, just right off the bat, anything you want to say. Fire off your Dodger takes. I know you've got those fire Dodger takes out there. Let's jump right into the action. Joseph Magazzini, how do we not stick with Gratterall there? Yeah, Brusdar Gratterall, you would like to have seen him go in that inning there. Maybe stays out there. He was owning Manny Machado. By the way, Manny Machado, you got owned by the Dodgers tonight. You hit that home run, but hey, we showed why we were not interested in Manny Machado. But Brusdar Gratterall, he pitches an inning and a third, only 7 pitches, and I think you'll see them make some adjustments. Awesome catch by Belly. Yeah, Cody Bellinger. Was that Cody Bellinger? Was that Willie Mays? Was that Andy Chavez of the Mets in 2006? That was the greatest catch that I've ever seen in a Dodgers postseason game that changed a series. We're going to look back on that play in about a couple weeks now when we're hoisting that Commissioner's Trophy, and we're going to say the Dodgers, that would have put the Padres on top. Fernando Tatis Jr. to dead center. Cody Bellinger had to go 97 feet to make that catch. All 6'4" of Cody Bellinger makes the grab. I didn't even know he had. He was a magician out there. Hey, they're the Friars, right? I think Cody Bellinger needs to make a confession because he was stealing from the Padres tonight, stole that bomb, and he really saved the Dodgers season because, hey, we had a lot of let's just jump back in time. I'm going to do rapid fire, guys. Fire away. Mookie Belly, Kershaw, game studs. Damien over on Facebook. Jay Hare just said it. They need to move him out of the role. Yeah, we'll get into all that. Look, Kenley Jansen, bottom line, 2/3. He goes 2/3 of an inning today, throws 30 pitches, 19 for strikes. This guy is not hitting his spots, does not have the velo on the cutter, does not have the action on the cutter. Like I was saying, if you're on a dunk tank, if you're sitting on a dunk tank and Kenley Jansen is in front of you, you're going to probably stay dry because he's not hitting his spots. He doesn't have the depth on that cutter. And look, just look, it's nothing against Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen is a legend in a lot of respects, but Kenley Jansen, if you put him in these save situations against good teams, look, the Braves are going to have a potent offense. They could face the Rays or the Yankees or the Astros. We're going to need guys in those spots that can get big outs. And Kenley Jansen, unfortunately, that ship has sailed. That day has passed. Kenley Jansen, only thing he can do right now is basically send us into panic mode like he did today. But here we go. Oh, my God, I need oxygen. Viva Los Doyers from Juan. Air Belly from Greg Pierce. over on Facebook. Luis, Joe effing Kelly was in his comfort zone. The maniac, Joe effing Kelly. The legend grows. Look, we already need a statue for Joe Kelly for what he did to the Houston Astros when he owned Carlos Correa. But tonight, what he did, how come every time it gets heated, Joe Kelly finds himself in the action? He goes out there and he finds a way to get it done, gets those big outs right there in the ninth, and the Dodgers, they take Game 2, the pivotal Game 2 of the series. Hey, did you watch the show last night? What did I say? It was going to be the sweep Diego Padres. I predicted a sweep of the Padres, and I think that's going to happen. But hey, just so you know, if you're watching on Twitter, be sure to hit that retweet button so all your friends can join in on the action. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to share the show so your friends can hear all your Dodger takes. Remember, this is your show. I'm just hosting it. Man of the fan here. Let's get back into these takes. Jansen sucks for Mr. Gonzalez. Damian. Also, KJ didn't use his other pitches. All cutters tonight. Yeah, a lot of cutters. Pretty much a couple of sliders there. Didn't have the velo. Didn't have the pitch mix you want to see. He did get an out with that two-seamer there that clocked in at around 93. But for the most part, Kenley Jansen, it's one that he's not hitting his spots. He's missing his spots. He's not attacking hitters where he needs to be attacking. And look, he just doesn't have it right now. That's just what it is. We have to accept the fact that that day has gone. It's come and gone with Kenley Jansen. And the Dodgers, they escaped tonight. They escaped a game. They were up 6-3. Clayton Kershaw will get into his entire outing. But the bottom line is the Dodgers need to reevaluate that position. I still think you want to see him in certain situations if he's fresh, if you think that there's a matchup that favors him. For the most part, the warning flags are up there. If Dave Roberts didn't see that tonight, Dave Roberts needs to see an optometrist. And Dave Roberts, he managed a game tonight. He had a lot of great moves with in tonight's ball game. We're going to break those down, but you are absolutely right. Jeff Friends, yeah, Jansen and Kelly made the game stressful, but only because Dave Roberts has not learned. Look, 30, that's a lot of pitches for Kenley Jansen. So let's break down. Let's head right into that ninth inning. So Kenley strikes out Myers on a 93.7 mile per hour sinker, and then Cronenworth gets an infield single on an 11-pitch at bat. So that was really critical in that stretch right there because he worked the pitch count up. You started to see him labor out there, and he just looks like he's flat out exhausted on the mound. He looks like he doesn't want to be on that mound, and you saw that there in that inning. And then Moreland, he doubles, scoring Cronenworth to make it 6-4. Dodgers with just one out and Nola representing the tying run at the plate, and then he gets him to pop out to pop out to foul territory. Gets Nola to pop him out to foul territory, and Nola really bailed out Kenley in that at bat. He just didn't want it. He had some pitches to hit there. There were some meatballs that he did not get to. Not 89 on the cutter. That's what he was averaging tonight. 89 on the cutter won't get 89 on the cutter won't cut it. Okay, and that's just what it is at this point in Kenley Jansen's career. And then Grisham. He needed to get Grisham to avoid facing Tatis, gives up a double to Grisham, scoring Moreland to make it 6-5 Dodgers, and then Joe Kelly was brought in. So Joe Kelly, he did get him warm, but I guess the question mark tonight, let's jump back in here. So that was the inning right there. But hey, yes or no question, let me know down below in the comments. Should Kenley Jansen be the closer with the Dodgers? Because if he's not the closer, are there a lot of spots there as an eighth inning setup guy? I think that you still want him in your bullpen. I still think there are nights where he can be effective if there are some matchups that can favor him. But bottom line is, look, what I've always said with Kenley Jansen, you end the dream of him becoming a great closer again. You end the dream before it becomes a nightmare. Tonight, it was almost a nightmare. The Dodgers almost dropped a pivotal Game 2, and with everything that happened tonight, with Manny Machado talking all that smack, and Max Muncy coming out there telling him, to shut the F up or get the F out, which is basically what Andrew Freeman told Manny Machado when he pulled his Johnny Hustle routine all 2018. Hey, we don't want Manny Machado on our team. And if they had won this game, that would have given them a lot of momentum in this series. And the Dodgers, they could have gone home early. Now instead, like I said, with the Padres, the first mountain was the tallest with the San Diego Padres, and the Dodgers will get past the Padres. If you've been rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show, I've been saying sweep Diego Padres. I think it happens tomorrow. You just take the light. 2 demoralizing losses for the Friars. Get rid of Jansen. But let's jump back in this comment section, guys. This is going to be a long one. So if I don't get to your comment, just keep going. I'll circle back here. Replying to Eric Rivera, true that from Dadsell. Diana, get rid of Jansen. One and done Jansen. Tom over on Facebook. Neil K, McGee or Kolarek instead. Yeah, those are both viable options out there. If you're going to go and with Jake McGee, he can come out there, a lefty. You could work some of those matchups there, the fastball and Kolarek, especially when you consider the 3-batter minimum rule in effect right there. So, yeah, definitely. Train. Braves will destroy the Dodgers. Disagree, Train, but what up? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Devin Streetwear Jansen has not. By the way, yeah, this Trinan, I'd rather have Gratterall. You guys really think they'll sweep? I personally do. Nicholas, these late games from the East are killing me. From West Point, New York. Nicholas, by the way, if you have not, let me know, where are you representing Dodgers Nation from tonight? Let me know. Everyone take a deep breath. I know we're going to get some emotional reactions, but that's a good thing because I'm in the business of overreactions and reacting to what just happened. So let it all out. Give me those fire Dodger takes on tonight's action. How do you guys feel? We got Kershaw. Really was sharp during certain stretches tonight. And then he gives up those 2 back-to-back shots. It was the 3rd time in his career that he had given up back-to-back home runs. And unfortunately, it reared his ugly head again tonight. But Clayton Kershaw, for the most part, a much better outing that we saw last year in Game 2 of the NLDS. The velo was up earlier. He was spotting that slider. He was getting a lot of quick innings, quick outs. But we'll break that down in a second. But, yeah, let me know where you represent Dodgers Nation from. Dustin May should be the closer from Neil. Bruce Davis, yeah, they will destroy the Dodgers. Are not pitching good. Salman Idaho from Larry Mullen. Yeah, we'll look ahead. Let's finish off the Padres. But I'm telling you, the Dodgers' depth in the 7-game series will take care of the Braves, and we learned a lesson tonight, and that lesson is you can't trust Kenley Jansen. It's that simple. You just can't do it. I trust Rob Manfred more than I trust Kenley Jansen right now to get those critical 3 outs, and that's saying a lot because you know how I feel about Rob Manfred. So I think Kenley Jansen, it's not like I want to send him up. It's not like I want to have him off the team or not make him make the roster in the NLCS. But look, Brusdar Gratterall, he had the moxie out there. He had the stuff. He had that intimidation that you want to see from a late innings guy, and he was efficient. Brusdar Gratterall, he goes an inning and a third, didn't get any punch outs, but 7 pitches, inducing soft contact, and I think he's a budding superstar. Joe Bennett, Doug told you yesterday, Cody, hey, Joe Bennett over there on Facebook, I got to give you your props right here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. I do remember you calling that belly bomb tonight. I looked it up, and that was a big part of this game too. Cody Bellinger hitting that home run, and that was in the bottom of the 4th. So Cody Bellinger, he cranks a belly bomb 433 feet to dead center, 105.2 off the bat for his first home run of the postseason, his first postseason home run since 2018. That was Game 7 against the Brewers. But you did, my man, you did call that. And I was, yeah, good job. So my question for you is this: who's hitting the home run tomorrow? Let me know down below in the comments. I kind of felt one coming for Max Muncy. Will Smith getting robbed with all that high exit velocity, that expected batting average, starting to see some of that bad luck that he saw early in the year. But yeah, Cody Bellinger, bottom of the 4th, he cranks it, first postseason home run since 2018, and Cody Bellinger tonight, he goes 1 for 4, and he makes the play of the game. That catch that Cody Bellinger had, let me know. Give me a one-word answer for how you felt about Cody Bellinger's catch. And Bellinger is really he's really having a sneaky, really good postseason all of a sudden, especially when you factor in that catch that he had, Cody Bellinger. Remember, he had that catch against the Brewers. He's made a lot of big defensive plays. Remember that throw out, that assist he had in Game 3 in 2018 against the Red Sox? Defensively, he's top shelf. He's a Gold Glove winner. He can be a Gold Glove winner in multiple positions. And Cody Bellinger this year in the postseason, he's hitting .286 with a slugging percentage of .500, OPSing .833, 4 for 14, and much better at bats at the plate. 4 strikeouts to 1 walk. I think Cody Bellinger is really turning it up. But hey, I have a question for you guys. You guys know who the OPS leader is for the Dodgers in the postseason? Let me know down below in the comments, because that is none other than Austin Barnes. Yes, it's a smaller sample size, but he's OPSing 1633 is Austin Barnes. You got to love what you see from Austin Barnes. But let's jump back into this comment section. We got amazing from Cowboy 5 Strings, epic from Doug Crosby. Shout out to East Lansing, Michigan. Andrew, we got no more game over for KJ. Yeah, because if it's it is no more game over for Kenley Jansen, because if it's game over for Kenley Jansen, it could be season over for the Los Angeles Dodgers. We can't sit through that again. We are just 2 games in to the NLDS, and we're sitting through that type of performance, and it's nothing against Kenley Jansen because we know he's a great guy. He's a warm personality, does a lot of great charity work. I love me some Kenley Jansen, but bottom line, he is not the guy right now to get those critical outs in the end of a baseball game against an explosive offense like the San Diego Padres. The Dodgers dodged a bullet. One by not signing Manny Machado, but one by not signing Manny Machado, but also by escaping tonight with a victory. I'm telling you, we've seen momentum swings in baseball, and now the Dodgers, if you look at the odds, I believe Joe Davis said at the end there, it's only happened 3 times in the last 15 years has a team come back trailing 2-0 in a series. But that's my response right there, Twitch. How did we win that? We got Miguel. It was a Gold Glove catch exactly from Miguel over on YouTube. Greg Wilson, how about Mr. October for Austin Barnes? Hey, give Austin Barnes some love. If you've been watching the show all year, sometimes we tend to be a little harsh on Austin Barnes when he's not playing well. But Austin Barnes, you got to give him a lot of credit because he's an asset. I never thought I would say this, but I want to see Austin Barnes at the plate in big moments because you're going to get a more than competitive at-bat. He's got great strike zone awareness. He knows what he's capable of. He'll get you a single every now and then, could stroke a double for you. And I think that Austin Barnes, to me, what he's done, you really got to also give Mookie Betts credit. Like I said, Mookie Betts for president for changing Austin Barnes. I mean, what he did with Austin Barnes from a confidence level, from a technique level, I don't know what it was. He sprinkled some of that Mookie salt on him, and then, hey, that was that. But he was Mookie Betts, Austin Barnes was 2 for 22. He started the season 2 for 22, and he was hitting a combined 204 in 2018 and 2019, and he has really been one of the great stories this year for the 2020 Los Angeles Dodgers. But here we go, and we're going to break down all this action, guys, but I can tell you guys have a lot to say, so first, let's jump in here. Who do you guys have as your player of the game? Do you have Joe Kelly? Do you have Cody Bellinger? There are some options. One thing that jumps out today is Corey Seager. Corey Seager, before he gets that hit today, before his first hit of the night, he was 1 for 11 in the postseason. Tonight, Corey Seager, he goes 3 for 4 on the night. 2 RBIs for Corey Seager, 2 for 4 for Mookie Betts, 2 for 4 for Max Muncy. Look, it was like a buffet out there. Everyone was eating with the bat for the most part, and you like what you saw from this Dodger offense. 11 hits, only 1 walk for this Dodger offense, but only 6 strikeouts. Only 6 strikeouts from this Dodgers offense. They were patient. They got to Davies when they needed to, and here we go. Stepped on Barnes a little. Dodgers is we got Greg Pierce. We got a trophy to win. Exactly. We got Barnes is a great player from Melanie over on Periscope. Trained. Lakers don't choke like the Dodgers. Hey, we'll see about that. We'll see. Mark, not that the Lakers won't win because they're in a good spot right now, but I think this was one of those victories that really you look back and you're the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we're going to look back at this championship run. We're going to say, hey, it was Joe Kelly scratching and clawing, finding any way he possibly could, because he couldn't throw strikes early in his appearance. He threw 19 pitches tonight to Joe Kelly, 10 of them for strikes, goes an inning and a third, and he gets the biggest out of the game oh man, I just can't right now, man. This is unbelievable. Thomas, Mookie the Salt. Manuel, no more Jansen, please. Belly, player of the game from Greg Pierce. What's up, Greg, over on Facebook? We got Belly hands down the catch. Yes, the Dodgers now have their version of the catch. You got some great catches in Major League Baseball history. Willie Mays, Devin White from the Toronto Blue Jays. So many big-time catches tonight. This is one. And my favorite thing about it was a Houdini job by Cody Bellinger. Didn't even know he had it in his glove. At least I did. And I was like, where's that ball? You see it, and I can't. Cody Bellinger, man, an MVP catch from the MVP last year, and you love to see it. And you just love to see, man, Cody Bellinger out there hustling. That is a ball player out there. That is a 5-tool ball player. Look, he was running out plays, the effort plays. Cody Bellinger, even when he's struggling, you don't see a lack of effort, and that's why Cody Bellinger is fantastic. That's why he's a phenomenal player, and that's why I really think that, like I said, he's having a sneaky good postseason, hitting 286. We got Greg Pierce, who's starting tomorrow? I think has that even been announced yet? I mean, I'm hoping it's Tony Gonsolin. They talked a little bit about Dustin May earlier, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. I think it'll be Tony G, and that's why I'm very confident that the Dodgers will let Lakers never choke. Doug, no, Train. I'm not. Lakers have never choked in a series. I wouldn't say the Lakers ever choked in a series. I mean, 2004 against the Pistons. We won't get into the Lakers, but I just meant that we'll see whether or not the Dodgers will choke, because I don't think that this Dodger team is going to choke. This Dodger team is built differently. You saw there with Brusdar, Gratterall. You saw out there with Joe Kelly. A lot of edgy players out there. Mookie Betts as the catalyst, as the leader of this club. Clayton Kershaw, you maybe want to consider taking him out an inning too early. If you look at his peripherals as far as the velo goes, you start to see a decline after that 4th and 5th inning, and he was missing with some spots. He threw some meatballs. They took advantage. You got to give him credit. This team is a home run hitting team, second to just the Los Angeles Dodgers. They know how to go deep. I don't care if it's Globe Life Stadium, where it's very difficult to hit long balls. This team knows how to get 4-baggers, and they got a couple big ones today. But here we go. Greg Pierce, Kelly's 58-foot curveball was killing me. Yeah, I just love that. I mean, that's what he does. He kind of nibbles bottom of the zone with some of his breaking balls, a lot of junk ball pitches. But, hey, he got us through this one. I'm telling you, the legend of Joe Kelly grew tonight. We need some more T-shirts. And by the way, if you need a T-shirt, you know where to go. By the way, this is the one I would get. You see this one right here with Cody Bellinger doing the ridiculous? That's the one I would get right there. Go to DodgersNation.com/shop. Get some T-shirts. Get that Dustin May shirt. If you want to get the hashtag, it's time for Dodger Baseball. If you want some more shirts, we got some more shirts for you right over here. You can get this one, the Dodgers Nation one, the legendary. Pretty much the best Dodgers gear in the game. Go get merched up. Here's another reminder. Tomorrow, you're going to want to hear all your takes on the Dodgers Dugout podcast. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. And what the show is, Dodgers Dugout, is where we condense this entire show, and then we add additional analysis and post-game reaction from the managers and the players. So definitely check that out, but definitely get merched up for the postseason. But here we go. We got Roberts. I don't like that word, Victor. Tony Gunslinger. Hey, yeah, exactly. That's my thing, right? Tony Gunslinger, CJQ. Hey, Gunslinger is going to bring it tomorrow. I'm telling you, he's another guy like Dustin May that's going to become a household name. I thought that Dave Roberts, he had some of Doc's decisions tonight. There were some good ones. I thought bringing in Brusdar to face Tatis with 2 outs in the 7th. We saw what happened. That double steal there in the 7th inning, that was a big play for the Dodgers. So here we go. Juan Torres wants to see Dustin tomorrow. We got Oh My Giddy Heart from Trevor Sim, Facebook. Jansen can't be allowed to see the 9th inning ever again. Breathing a little easier now up here in Edmonton, Canada. Hey, we got America's hat in the house. Gratterall for closing. Chris Moreno. Luis. Yeah, the only thing about Gratterall is you want to look at those strikeout numbers, and they're not really at where you want to see for necessarily a closer, but bottom line is he has elite. He knows how to induce contact at an elite level, and he also has that presence on the mound, that moxie on the mound. And you saw they went with trying earlier. I really do think you're going to see the Dodgers mix things up, and I think that's going to be to their advantage, because when it comes to a game planning standpoint and the opposing teams, I think you're going to see this Dodger team get creative. Look what happened last year. Last year, let's take a trip down memory lane. Remember last year in Game 2, the NLDS, who did the job late for them? It was Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer came in for the Nationals. So I think that pretty much it's put all hands on deck, push those chips to the middle of the table. Whoever's got the hot arms, you bring out there and you close them and keep them guessing. So we got start May and then Gonsolin to relieve. I think that's a great point from Julio over on Facebook that, yeah, you're going to see some of that. You're going to see some piggybacking with Dustin May, to whether it be a Dustin May to a Walker Buehler like we saw, or it could be a Kershaw to a Julio Urias like we saw. So there's going to be some times we're going to see this Dodger team take advantage of the fact that they have guys that can give you multiple innings, and they're relievers in the sense they're coming out of the bullpen, but they're starters masquerading as relievers, and that's why I'm so confident in this Dodgers team and the depth they have. So if you look at that, and so if you look at Clayton Kershaw. Yeah, let's break down this game a little bit. I swear I can with Kenley sometimes from Murder Tank over on YouTube. I love the team now, but the future is bright. Yeah, absolutely. The core in the future, Dustin May. You got Walker Buehler still young. Julio Urias is still young. a young cat. You got, we'll see if they want to pay Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, Mookie Betts. This team is set up to have success for the next decade, and that's why you got to appreciate what Andrew Freeman and the Guggenheim Group and this organization, Stan Kasten and company, has done, because they've turned the Dodgers into a perennial contender. And as you saw tonight with Major League Baseball, baseball is capricious. It's a fickle sport. That's why, to me, baseball is the best sport. You saw today, there is no clock. There is no clock. You can't take a knee. You can't run out the clock with the basketball. You get every pitch. You have to earn all 27 outs, and fortunately, in between those outs, it can make your heart palpitate a little. But hey, that is why baseball, I'm telling you, baseball is absolutely unbelievable. But here, my blood pressure from Isaac Garza is going down now. Big win. Yeah, bottom line, Dodgers escape. They get the win. We got Teresa Roberts did make better decisions tonight, but then again, he did put Jansen in. And then also, Kenley Jansen, I think the most pitches he had thrown in a game was 31. Tonight, Kenley Jansen goes, he ends up throwing, I actually don't have it in front of me anymore, but I think, so Kenley Jansen, unfortunately, it just wasn't his night. He goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 2 earned runs, gives up 2 hits, and it just was not going to get it done for the Dodgers in this one. And look, I think that if you're the Dodgers, one silver lining in all of this is that this happened in Game 2 of the NLDS. This is only the Dodgers' 4th postseason game. This didn't happen in the World Series. This didn't happen in the NLCS. So better now than never. Now the Dodgers, they have no excuses. They have no excuses when it comes to getting those big outs late in the game. And look at that. They had a cushion there. They had a cushion in that game, and the Dodgers really have no excuse. They had a cushion for Kenley, and that's a situation. Look, imagine if Kenley Jansen comes out and the Dodgers are up 1, okay? So it's just not going to cut it. We know at this point, like I said, if Dave Roberts doesn't make a move, you got to get his contacts checked. You got to send him to an optometrist, because it is ever so clear at this point. Yeah, Kenley Jansen, he goes 30 pitches tonight. 30 pitches tonight for Kenley Jansen, and 1 for 5. 1 for 5, Kenley Jansen on first pitch strikes. 1 for 5. That is starting behind on the vast majority of the hitters you face, and it's not going to get it done when you're missing your spots just like that. But hey, let's not complain because the Dodgers, they get the win tonight, and it was really just a big time win for the Dodgers. Going up 2-0 is all but guaranteeing a victory. By the way, like I said, sweep Diego Padres is going to happen. Train the Padres are the next super team. I don't think so. I think that they jumped the gun by trading away a lot of their franchise when Preller did the Order 66. You bring in Clevenger. Like I told you, Train, we were talking to me and you about Clevenger, and I said that violent delivery, susceptible to injury. Unfortunately, he's got an elbow injury. He hasn't ruled out pitching again in this series, but I don't think so. To me, I think Tatis, Manny Machado, maybe a couple good years left. Paddock, dude, please. If it's Paddock tomorrow, Dodgers big. It'll be the body slam Diego Padres. It'll be the body slam Diego Padres by the Dodgers if they face Paddock. You saw him start against the Cardinals because he got rocked. So he hasn't lived up to the hype. He hasn't lived up to what they thought he was going to be. And still lost the 11-pitch at-bat, did Jansen from Travis. Yeah, that at-bat to Cronenworth really did him in. They were fouling off a lot of pitches. When you see, that's a warning sign. That's a warning sign for a closer when you see that many pitches get fouled off. Here we got Joe Bennett. Guys, listen up, because Joe Bennett over on Facebook called that belly bomb today, and he said, Doug, my pick for home run tomorrow is Corey Seager. Mark my words. All right, I'm going to hold you to it. We'll be here right after the game, guys. By the way, join us for the post-game after every single Dodger post-game. After every single Dodger postseason game this entire run, and be sure to check in and watch the pregame show hosted by the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation, Clint Pasillas, Real FRG, and Brooks Smith. They'll get you set up for the game. So pregame, game, postgame, hey, Dodgers 24/7. That's how you got to live your life. Here we go. We got Cowboy 5-ring super team. That's the Dodgers, baby. We got Ralph Lopez. Oh, yeah, Kelly cheated, you dummies. You out of a World Series as well in 2018. LOL. Ralph Lopez. We signed him because he did throw 11 scoreless in the 2018 World Series. But, hey, that's neither here nor there. Once you put on that Dodger blue, you're one of us, and you're helping this organization like he has early in the year when he did what he did against the Houston Astros, the Houston Trastros, asterisks, whatever you want to call them, and getting that big out tonight. I don't care how he did it, but he found a way to execute pitches tonight. But here we go. We got Clayton Kershaw's night. We'll talk a little bit about Clayton Kershaw. So we go 6 innings pitched. Yeah, can you guys grade? Let me get a grade for Clayton Kershaw down below in the comments. Give me your grade down below in the comments. Give me mine in a second. But CJQ, Paddock NLDS MVP tomorrow. Q over on YouTube. EK, who do you think the starters are going to be tomorrow? It remains to be seen. I do personally believe they'll go with Gonsolin. Home run call for tomorrow. No one. 15 hits, no homers. We win 9-2. That's from Damien over on Facebook. Jose Rod Belly honored the former Dodger third baseman Adrian Beltre in Texas. Hey, Beltre, unbelievable career for the Dodgers. Should have won 2004. Really should have won MVP. It just brought me back there talking about Adrian Beltre. Yeah, I do. That's just one thing I do like about their stadiums, how they honor people, former players. But Adrian Beltre probably gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He did have his, I think he had his most home runs in his career with the Dodgers, had 48 bombs in Dodger blue. Of course, that's shy of Sean Green. But B+ from Greg Wilson. Christopher got a C. Kirsch gets a C for tonight. Arturo, I give Kershaw a B+. Frank Rios, a B. Joseph, a C grade. Gabriel, a C+. Patrick Cullen, a B. Joe Bennett. Paddock is the starter for the Padres tomorrow. I think it will be Gonsolin for the Dodgers. Yes, I think it will be the great Catsby for your boys in blue, and I think he's going to be very effective, and I see the Dodgers sweeping the Padres. Hey, man, who, if you guys watch this show, you're going to back me up, right? I said for the first game it was going to be the sweep Diego Padres, and it looks like that's going to be the case. Angie Jones over on, if you guys want, give me your score predictions tomorrow too, and then we'll jump into this recap here, and we'll break down this game a little more in just a second. But a B- from Jose, Danny Cortez, a B+, Greg Pierce, A- for Kirsch. He's got a 2.09 ERA against the Padres. Yeah, he definitely owns the Padres. I think the only person with a better ERA against the franchise is Tom Seaver. I forgot who, though. Muncy is going deep tomorrow from Patrick Cullen. A- for Kershaw from James. We got Adam, my boy, Adam, from the locker room, because I know your bazooka out there starting drama. Adam starting drama, your boy, the bazooka. I'm trying to snag one of those kisses that Gratterall was throwing at Manny. #bazooka. Hey, man, first you had the pout. You had the pout from Joe Kelly. Now we got the bazooka kiss. I want to know what he said to Manny Machado as he was leaving. But, yeah, you love it. I know you're going crazy, man. #sweep Diego. That's what I'm saying. Edgar over on Facebook. They need to finish this in 3. 8-0 tomorrow from Albie. One mistake by Kershaw. Machado hit a great pitch. Yeah, let's jump into that inning. Let's talk a little bit about that inning there where he gives up the back-to-back jacks. And if you so we go to the top of the 6th. So top of the 6th inning, Manny Machado goes deep on Kershaw. He clubs a hanging slider. Then Hosmer goes deep to make it 4-3 Dodgers. The Padres get back-to-back home runs from Machado and Hosmer on an 89-mile-per-hour fastball. So that velo started to dip there in that inning. Still with no outs. Then he gets Pham to go then he gets Pham to swing under one, flies out for the first out. Then he gets Will Myers to ground out for the second out. Cronenworth flies to left for the third out. So back-to-back home runs, and it cuts the Dodgers lead to 1, and it really felt like a familiar a story that we're all too familiar for with Clayton Kershaw with the back-to-back home runs in that inning. And he saw, hey, was the Dodgers going to melt down? No, the difference between this Dodger team is this Dodger team found a way to score some runs and get those runs back. And so the Dodgers, they found a way. But, yeah, in the bottom of that inning, the back-to-back home runs, that one definitely hurts right there. And the third time in his career, of course, unfortunately, you have Soto and Rendon, and then it was Marte and Mathis back in Game 1 of the 2017 NLDS. But here we go, 4-2 Dodgers tomorrow. Bye-bye Padres. We got Greg Wilson, 6-2 tomorrow. Muncy getting one tomorrow from Muncy hitting one tomorrow from Jose. We got 30-0 Padres, murder tank. If that happens, man, hey, that will not happen. But Dodgers 7-1, 8-2 Dodgers sweep. Gratterall should be our closer. He easily threw 101. Yeah, effortless 101 on the gun. And once he starts utilizing those breaking pitches to his advantage, you're going to see more swing and miss, and you're going to see more punch-outs from the bazooka. But he's a guy that doesn't just throw a flat sinker, doesn't throw a flat fastball. It's one that induces soft contact. He has great feel for the pitch. And I just think this guy has the confidence and the moxie out there that the Dodger needs. Because when he's on the mound, the Dodgers are very confident that he's going to get those big outs. Can't say the same about Kenley Jansen, unfortunately. But, hey, unfortunately, the Padres, Belly Robin, the home run best play of the game from Laura Ruiz. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Cody Bellinger's catch was spectacular. Cody Bellinger made first of all, he gets the home run tonight. To me, Cody Bellinger, you get the player of the game, and it's easy. To me, it's easy. Cody Bellinger gets the player of the game. First, you get the bomb there in the fourth inning, but then you get that catch. It was just something, one of those plays we are never going to forget for the Dodgers. It was just something just absurd. He ran 97 feet to get that baseball. He robs Fernando Tatis Jr. Can you imagine Major League Baseball there? Just like, oh, please, Tatis, hit that big bomb. Do a crazy bat flip so we can put it on all of our social media platforms. No, you know what you're going to do? You're going to put Cody Bellinger's catch on all those social media accounts because that was the play of the postseason thus far, and there's no question about it. All 6'4" of Cody Bellinger goes up there to make that play, and that's why, hey, I remember we were talking earlier a couple weeks ago, some of you guys saying, hey, when Muncy was struggling at first. By the way, a couple just quick takes about tonight's game. I thought Max Muncy played a great first base today, made some big scoops, made some big grabs, and I think that he really played well today at first base. And isn't it interesting that when your offense starts to follow your defense, and you saw that tonight with Max Muncy, but I remember there were whispers out there, maybe we should put Cody Bellinger at first base. There's one guy on this Dodger team. Look, Mookie Betts, you saw the throw that he made to get Marte out on the Diamondbacks earlier in the year. This guy is Gold Glove caliber too. He has 4 Gold Gloves to himself. A.J. Pollock is a talented outfielder. So is Chris Taylor. But there's one guy on this team that's capable of making that play, and his name is Cody Bellinger, and he really possibly saved the Dodgers season because if it goes 1-1, if the Dodgers lose tonight, you just don't know what's going to happen in a 5-game series with a momentum swing like that. Another thing, too, Dodgers pull up the win. Clayton Kershaw, you gave us 6 innings, a couple solo jobs. You didn't have the command there for a couple stretches out there, but for the most part, he stays very confident. He feels good about his outing, and then Trinan comes in. He feels good about his outing. This was just a monster win for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's the only way to describe it. Describe this win for the Dodgers. Reesh over on Facebook, Double Steal was sick. YouTube C over on YouTube, put Kolarek as closer if we can't have Jansen. I still think, even with the 3-batter minimum, Kolarek actually showed an ability to get out righties this year, and I do think you want to save him for certain spots. I think you just want guys out there. I don't think Kolarek is a guy that you want to put out there as your closer. I still think there's a special spot for Kolarek on this team, but I wouldn't throw him out. There's a couple guys ahead of him as the closer role. Even if you want to talk about Jake McGee, if you like a guy who basically throws 98.9% fastballs these days, Brusdar, Gratterall. The only issue is you do lose some of those setup guys. But look, we haven't seen Floro yet, and Floro is a guy that was not on the wild card series roster, but he comes in this series. He's a guy that has had a quality year. So unfortunately, they lost Ferguson during the year with the elbow injury. But look, the Dodgers will have arms out there and options out there, and tonight won't be the last time you'll see Kenley Jansen in the postseason. We got Barnes is hitting 1,000. Dodger, yes, Austin Barnes. That's what I'm talking about. I want to know what Muncy said. Hey, man, he just dropped a bunch of F-bombs, told him to get the F back, told him go away, basically said, hey, man, go away, you can stay out there. And I think it's hilarious. This Padres team is getting up in arms. This team that all they do is dance around. All they do is try to talk smack. All they try to do is when they're winning, they're the team that's the fun, young team with all the energy. Hey, last time I checked, when I look at that Dodgers dugout, they're the team that's enjoying themselves. They're the team that looks loose and ready to party in this postseason. And I'm telling you want to have fun? Fun is winning. Being up 2-0 in the NLDS is winning, and the Dodgers are doing just that. So for Manny Machado to get all upset about something stupid, look, Manny, hey, man, why don't you We're not interested. We're not interested. The Dodgers weren't interested in Manny Machado. The Dodgers were about as interested in Manny Machado as he is running to first base because they didn't want any of Johnny Hustle here in Dodger Blue. And now, look, to me, it's just a little bit of karma for the Dodgers. So karma is a you-know-what, and it's wearing brown pinstripes at the moment if you're the Padres. So don't talk that big game. We know the Grisham little stare down. Don't get this Dodger team mad because they're too talented. This team is too talented. They have too many weapons out there, and the Dodgers, they're focused on executing their strategy, and you saw that tonight. Here we go. I wonder why Muncy was batting cleanup all year, but with the great supporting cast, we can afford to have him hit forward. He'll come around real soon. Yeah, I mean, you're already seeing signs. You saw that. You saw him crank that double last night. Tonight, Max Muncy, another 2 hits for Max Muncy, 2 RBIs tonight. So, absolutely. Damian, 2 words, fun. You know exactly. Damian, man, you're a true Dodger fan over there. Kurt Gibson. You know what fun? Let me write that. Fun. You want to know what's fun? Winning is fun. Exactly. So they can have their clubhouse theatrics because they can dance all their way while they're sitting on their couches watching the NLCS while the Dodgers are making their way to the World Series. But, hey, by the way, what Brusdar did was kind of Bush League, but I'll take it from Steve May. Hey, look, it was a spark, and I don't think it was a Bush League. I personally don't think it was. I think that, hey, he's a competitor out there. And Brusdar, by the way, shout out to the Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox. Hey, I love the Boston Red Sox. Say what's up to my boy Alex Verdugo. Treat him well over in Boston. Thanks for Mookie Betts, and thanks for Brusdar Gratterall. That shoulder wasn't looking good to you. It looked pretty good to me tonight. So here we go. Kim, my new name, Manny Machado from Kim. Logan Jones, I'm done. Nobody is talking. Oh, yeah, Logan Jones. Talk about Blake Trinan. Blake Trinan in back-to-back days. Blake Trinan, he goes 2/3 of an inning tonight, 13 pitches, 8 for strikes. Now, the issue that Blake Trinan has sometimes is I believe he leads the bullpen in most hit batters. So, unfortunately, he gets into those situations. He started the 7th. He gets Profar to ground out for the first out, gets Nola to fly out to center. Then he hits Grisham, and then Doc brings in Brusdar to face Tatis Jr., and then we saw the catch of the year. So, he did well. And they need him. He's got top shelf stuff. When he's hitting his spots, when that sinker is effective for him, this is the kind of stuff that plays up in the postseason, and that's why Friedman signed him. Remember, 2018, he was one of the best relievers in the game, and Friedman throws him $10 million. You throw in $10 million, you expect to see results like you have in these first couple of games. Kim Preep, look ahead, Dodgers, World Series. I don't know. That was my preseason prediction, but I'm not feeling good about it. I'm rooting against the Astros every day, and I hope it doesn't happen because, look, I don't think it's possible. Unfortunately, it's possible, but I don't think they're ultimately going to have the arms. Greinke's out. Of course, they lost Verlander early in the year when he went on Twitter and said that there wasn't an issue, but clearly there was. And now Greinke's an issue. I think offensively they have their moments and they're playing well, but I don't see them getting past that Rays team. I think the Rays team or the Yankees, if the Yankees can find a way to pull it out. But hey, look, basically if the baseball gods are real, the Astros will not prevail in this series. But a big stadium makes us more plate discipline from Greg Wilson. I think that's a great point right there. I think that's a great point that you made over there on Facebook. And yes, you saw today there were some adjustments. You saw Mookie Betts. That one hit, that would have been another hit for Mookie Betts if it wasn't for that stab by Manny Machado. I think you saw today the Dodgers weren't just out there trying to hit bombs. They're trying to play those alleys. They're trying to get base hits. You saw the play where Austin Barnes got the hit. When Austin Barnes gets the hit right there, right there in the 4th inning, that was a bunt attempt. There was a bunt attempt right there. So I think that you're absolutely correct on that one. I agree. Dodgers get revenge against the Astros from Al Taylor on YouTube. Dodgers and Rays in the show from Sean Catman and Urias to close out tomorrow from Dave Metters over on Facebook. Machado even had Mookie tell him to go back to his dugout. Machado didn't have Mookie. Machado. That's a great point, Damian. Mookie Betts is the nicest guy. By the way, everyone in the comments, let me get a happy birthday for Mookie Betts. It's Mookie Betts' birthday. He's only 28 years old. Marcus Lynn Betts. You can sing him happy birthday. And really, for his birthday, we got a big present for Mookie with getting Mookie Betts this year. And you're right. When Mookie Betts is telling you something, the nicest guy who likes to talk to everyone on the base pass, he's Mr. Congeniality, Mr. Popular out there. When Mookie Betts is mad at you, that's how you know that, hey, you're not good, that guys aren't feeling you out there, and I think you saw that. But, yeah, great point. Al Taylor, I took the 1.5 with the Pods. Thank God for Dave Robertson Jansen. Julio, Tony, and Big Red tomorrow from Greg Pierce. Joe Bennett, happy birthday. Jose Rod, happy birthday. There we go. Mookie is the coolest from Delirium. Absolutely, Mookie Betts is the coolest dude on the block. But, yeah, here we go. So let's jump into this one into let's jump into this game a little bit here. So the top of the second. So let's get more into Kershaw's outing right here. Laura Ruiz, happy birthday, Betts. The 5150 Rams fan. Been a while that I'm pissed off after win. You change the closer, you win the title. No, don't you? You won't. I think they will. Got to thank Roberts when the Dodgers lose again. Brent, what's the one concern you have as the Dodgers head into this series? I said the other day, bullpen, go Dodgers. Brent, yes, you did. You did say that the Dodgers bullpen was a concern. And look, bullpens are very fickle, man. The bullpens on a daily basis, on a game-by-game basis, you got hot arms, you got arms that from series to series, how they will. I think that my biggest concern heading into this series was, were we going to have the postseason Dodgers? If you watch the show before the postseason, started out saying the Dodgers need to rake their way to a ring, and you saw it tonight. It wasn't those same postseason Dodgers where the bats go cold like we saw in Game 7 where they lost 5-1 against the Houston Astros. You saw the Dodgers come out there and set the tone with the bats. You saw them execute their strategy. Their approach was sound all night long. You saw the power come back with Cody Bellinger. And I think the Dodger bats, to me, was the biggest question mark, especially when you consider our big sluggers from last year. 47 bombs from Cody Bellinger, 35 from Max Muncy. They had a down year all year, and the Dodgers, despite that, finished with the best record in baseball at 43-17. So that was one question I had, and so far the Dodgers have gotten it done with the bat as well. So let's, so the issue, though, I think that one of the other takeaways was Clayton Kershaw. He looked really good at times. Other times you saw some of those meatball pitches. You saw some of those pitches that you know opposing hitters are going to feast at. But for the most part, like I said, Clayton Kershaw, the fastest pitch that he had thrown, last year was just under 92 miles per hour. The hardest pitch he threw against the Nationals in Game 2 of the NLDS was 91.2 miles per hour. He was hitting 93 tonight, so that looks like it's sustainable, but he still needs to hit his spots. For him to be effective, it's when he's hitting the target. It's when that slider has that depth to it, and he has the feel for it early on. But here we go. Bueller is clutch from Train. Yeah, so everyone, I'm going to take a poll here. I'm going to go back into the comments. I'm going to add them all up. Who should be the closer? Who should be the closer for the Dodgers? Because to me, it really shouldn't be the closer. Look, like I said, this is baseball in 2020. To have one guy as your closer, it doesn't have to be the case. It's about evolving, playing the matchups. Some games it will be Brusdar. Some games you might see Trinan. Some games you might see Jake McGee, who we haven't seen pitch yet. Train points out, or Logan Jones points out. Yeah, I think Jake McGee, you'll see him. I mean, that's one of the things about this Dodger team is they've gotten good run from the piggyback guys coming off their starters. Julio Urias, you saw Dustin May give him quality innings. It's not your traditional bullpen. This is a bullpen that's set up for guys that have been built up to start games, but they can give you multiple innings. And what that does sometimes is you don't see your one-inning guys like Jake McGee at times, or your Dylan Floros, or your Kolarek. So I think at some point it'll all balance out, and depending on if we can continue to get some quality starts. Look, 6 innings for Clayton Kershaw tonight. Clayton Kershaw still goes 6 innings, gives up 6 hits, and Walker Buehler goes 4 innings yesterday, but we saw he had to battle his way out there. We got the bazooka from Michael. We got Greg, closer by committee with this pen. I think that's how you do it. You go closer by committee. Unfortunately, what that does is, for my Dave Roberts detractors, is that does put him in a spot where he has to make more decisions, but that's what this team needs. You got to put in guys that you can be effective with certain matchups out there. Love Kelly, but the reality is that Trinan or Bazooka should be the only guys pitching in the 9th in a save situation. That's from Damien. I would say yes, and also some other starters out there you can see in there. We got Clay Dunsmore. What up, Clay? Hey, Big Doug. Sorry I'm late. Yep. Get rid of Jansen. Put Bazooka in there. I was getting scared even for Kelly tonight. Glad we got through it. Yes. Glad. A big sigh of relief for the Dodgers. I'm telling you, I did not want to have one of those. You know what kind of shows I'm talking about, where the comment section is lighting up for all the wrong reasons, because you're lighting up Dave Roberts of the Dodgers, or whoever made the mistake. It was probably going to be Kenley. But closer by committee from Joe over on YouTube. We got Buehler is great, especially after he settled down yesterday. May and Urias mid to late innings if they don't start. Roberts is too stubborn to make changes. Train, I disagree. I think that you are seeing some evolution with Dave Roberts, and I think that it all started with the comment he made about Kenley's cutter not having the teeth that it needed. Then he kind of backtracked it by saying he went to the videotape, and I think that was just him saying, hey, I need Kenley Jansen at some point in this postseason, but I don't think that he's committed to him as the guy in the ninth inning to get those final 3 outs. I think that is pretty much safe to assume at this point. Why not May for closer? Look, I mean, you got to look how the closer is set up. May got nasty stuff. It's not saying that May's not a fantastic pitcher, but I think you'll see May possibly start a game, and if you don't, you're going to see May giving him a lot of innings. Remember, this is a postseason that had an additional 2 games. It looks like the Dodgers are going to make quick work of the Padres in this one, so that's good. But I think it's the Dodgers are set up in a situation. I think in the 28-man roster, they have 14 pitchers on the roster, and that's because you're seeing consecutive days. You're not seeing those days off that we typically would because there is no travel. They're in a bubble in Texas. So here we go. Clay Train. Then why did he put Jansen as closer today? Nothing changed. Yeah, I think that today it was a last-ditch effort for Kenley Jansen. You saw him the other night. He didn't perform as bad. And I think that tonight, it's just the alarm bells are ringing, and I think that after tonight is what I'm really talking about. Michael Lugo, who's starting the game, their next game, bullpen game, I think the assumption has to be it's going to be the Catman, the Gunslinger, Tony G, Tony Smokes. Happy birthday to Moogie from Maura O'Brien. Welcome to the show, Maura O'Brien. How are you guys doing tonight, man? I mean, that was just something else, man. I'm going to rewatch that game as soon as the show's over. But yeah, so Seager, Mr. Double-Double was money from Chris Cunningham. We got Damian. Next series, a 7-game series with no days off. We may need 5 starters. Damian, fantastic point over there on Facebook. Erubi Sanchez over on YouTube. Game 3 starters should go to Gonsolin. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, so the second inning, Pham gets So yeah, the second inning kind of was the concerned, one of the innings that kind of was cause for concern tonight. And then we'll wrap this up. But the top of the second, he gets Pham. Pham gets a base hit to right. 3 of the first 4 Padres were swinging on that first pitch, so they were ambushing that pitch. You know, they hit 408 on first pitch swings this year. I think pretty much, I forgot the count at the end of the day, but a vast majority of the hitters, I would say probably like 86% of at-bats was a first pitch swing against Kershaw tonight. And you saw Pham gets the base hit. Myers cranks a double to right center. And Chris Taylor airmailed it to home. Thankfully, Kershaw was backing him up. The Padres take a 1-0 lead there. They took the slider to right field. Then he gets Cronenworth swinging with the slider away for the first out of the inning. And then Kershaw goes to the curveball to get Profar to ground out. Gets Nola swinging with the curveball away for his 3rd punch out of the night. Strands the runner at second. So Kershaw, then top of the 3rd. Grisham flies to center for the first out of the 3rd. Tatis flies to short right. Muncy makes the play for the second out. Then Machado grounds to Justin Turner at 3rd, and Turner's throw was a little low, but a quality dig by Muncy there to get the out. And, yeah, he makes the stretch, touches the bag, and a quick and efficient 3rd on just 7 pitches for Clayton Kershaw. Then we broke down the 3rd and pretty much the rest of the game. So final takeaways from tonight is that the Dodgers and the Padres, they definitely have a rivalry brewing, but the Dodgers are going to make quick work of the Padres. To me, it's like the freshman baseball team. They got these. They think they can take on the varsity team, and they got a lot of heart. They got a lot of moxie, and they want to win, but they can't. And the Dodgers make light work. Or it's almost like that when your little brother, he grows a couple inches over the summer. He thinks he can beat you out one-on-one. And yes, you don't beat him as bad, but at the end of the day, you beat him, okay? The Dodgers are the class of the NL West. They are an elite franchise, and they've won 8 straight division titles. And the Padres, their fans all dancing around after a wild card series win. Look, this franchise does not have the Dodgers' only goal, the only competition for the Dodgers is the Dodgers. We're not worried about the Padres. We're not worried about anyone in the National League. This team has the talent and the depth to get it done on a year in and year out basis. And I think that the Padres getting swept is going to be a fitting end to their season where they thought that they were actual contenders with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Unfortunately for them, they weren't at full strength. I think we'll never know. To me, it would have been a 5-game series, at least a 4-game, possibly a 5-game series if Dinelson Lamet was healthy and Mike Clevenger was healthy. But unfortunately, we'll never know. And maybe next year. But I think that the Dodgers have this thing wrapped up. If you look at the odds, 90% chance that the Dodgers will wrap things up, and I think they get it done tomorrow. This Dodger team has just that's a soul-crushing 2 losses. They just ripped the soul out of the San Diego Padres, a soul-crushing defeat tonight. They had an opportunity there, and Joe MF and Kelly comes out there and gets it done. But, yep, guys, a couple more reminders. Be sure to subscribe to that YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout podcast. And then tomorrow, it'll be out by tomorrow morning, and we'll throw in all kinds of additional analysis and all the post-game reaction from the players, Joe Kelly, Cody Bellinger, Mookie Betts, Dave Roberts. You'll hear it there on the podcast. And then also get geared up, get merched up for the postseason. Go to DodgersNation.com/shop. Tune into the pregame show tomorrow, hosted by Real FRG, Clint Pasillas, and Brooke Smith. And then we'll be here, win, lose, or draw, for the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Something tells me we'll be celebrating an NLDS series win tomorrow as the Dodgers win today. But as always, thanks, guys, for joining us here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. If you're on Facebook, be sure to share the show. If you're on Twitter, be sure to retweet. But let's do a couple of last-second ones. If you got some super hot Dodger takes, we'll throw them here at the buzzer. Deborah Young, Preach Doug. What's up, Deborah Young on YouTube? Crunchy. It's funny when Gratterall threw his glove and Machado got mad. Yes, that was the best. Marco, Dodgers going for the sweep like the D-backs in 2017. Estrada, Kike will have a 3-run homer if he starts tomorrow. I'm going to remember that. Roger, I'm in the reserve parking lot at Globe Life Field with George Lopez. We're hosting a post-game tailgating party wearing our mask and staying 28 feet apart. All right, what's up? Tell myself what's up. I let's do it tomorrow. Sweep Diego, I'm telling you. CJ, Doug, I love the intro music. Do you have a link to the download? I'll try to figure something out for you, man. I actually made that myself. But yeah, man, all the great Dodger memories, right? Patrick, Dodgers sweep tomorrow. Love your analogy of freshmen and varsity players. Hey, man, I'm telling you, they think that they're on the Dodgers level, but they are not. Dodgers for the sweep. Isaac, Padres are cryberry babies. Great discussion, Doug. Teresa, Kike for closer 2020. Richie, hey, man, no. I remember what he did in 2018 against the Phillies on the road. He gave up that bomb. So no to that. Thanks, bro. Have a good one. But, yeah, guys, hey, thanks for rocking with us. As always, Dodgers get the win. An epic night we'll never forget. We're never going to forget this night. Cody Bellinger's catch, bazooka versus Manny Machado, Clayton Kershaw, a couple bombs, but a nice 6-inning start for Clayton Kershaw. Gives up 3 runs. Corey Seager was hot tonight. The bats were alive with Max Muncy, Mookie Betts, and the play at the end. Bases loaded, 6-5. Joe Kelly, the season on the line, gets the out there, and the Dodgers were victorious. But, hey, we'll be back tomorrow, guys. It's going down on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. As always, thanks again for rocking with us. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. And be sure to head over to DodgersNation.com, your home for all things Dodgers. But, yeah, remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodgers baseball. Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Swung on and missed a perfect game.